For this project, I chose to analyze how chicken is digested within the gastrointestinal system. Chicken is a type of meat that is a good source of protein, unsaturated fat, and B vitamins that are essential for your health. To start, chicken is taken in by the human through the oral cavity, the first step in digestion. As the chicken is being eaten, the teeth grinds it up into a mass of food that is mixed with saliva produced by the salivary glands. This mass of food is called a bolus. The tongue then takes this bolus and pushes it back towards the pharynx as it makes its way down the esophagus. During this process of swallowing, measures are taken by the body to prevent food from going down the trachea and/or up the nasal cavity through the use of the soft palate to cover the nasal cavity and the epiglottis, a flap of skin that separates the esophagus and the trachea. As the chicken makes its way down to the stomach, it travels through the esophagus, a tube that connects the oral cavity and the stomach. The esophagus moves food through a muscle movement called peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement is a type of muscle contraction that helps move food down the esophagus by applying waves of muscles in order to push the food down. The body also uses saliva to help move food down to the stomach as it acts as a lubricant to help move the food down. In the stomach, the chicken is broken down and digested in order to extract necessary nutrients from the chicken. The stomach contains gastric acids that are made by parietal cells in the stomach. The body keeps the acids in the stomach by using two sphincters, muscles that constrict in order to hold in substances. With the help of enzymes produced by chief cells in the stomach, the gastric acids work together with the enzymes to break down the food that has entered in the stomach. In this case, the enzyme pepsin would denature the peptide bonds in the protein to make individual peptides that are ready for further digestion. The stomach then churns the peptides, remaining food, and gastric juices to create a substance called chyme. This chyme is then sent through the sphincter in the direction of the small intestine. The chyme first enters the duodenum, the first section of the small intestine. In the duodenum, enzymes are created from the pancreas and are combined with the chyme in order to make it ready for absorption by the body. For the peptides of the chicken, the enzymes trypsin and peptidase are used to break down the peptides even further. For the fats found in the chicken, lipase from the pancreas and bile from the liver help break down the fat into fatty acids and monoglycerides. The chyme then travels to the jejunum, where the process of absorption occurs. The jejunum takes the peptides and fatty acids of the digested chicken and absorbs it through structures called villi and sends them to the rest of the body for use. The remaining nutrients that were missed by the jejunum are then absorbed by the ileum, the third and final section of the small intestine. The chyme then goes into the cecum, the beginning of the large intestine. Once the cecum takes the digested chyme from the small intestine, it is then sent into the colon, where water, salts, and other vitamins from the chicken are absorbed. After all of the water and other vitamins are extracted from the chyme, the remains then travel to the rectum, where it waits to be extinguished from the body through the anus. The pancreas is not directly involved with the digestion of chicken, but it does play a big role in it. As mentioned before, the pancreas creates digestive enzymes that are used in the small intestine. Trypsin and lipase are two examples of enzymes that come from the pancreas which help out protein digestion. The pancreas is also involved with maintaining blood sugar levels with the hormones insulin and glucagon. Since chicken contains no carbohydrates, this does not apply to its digestion. After all of the nutrients are absorbed by the intestines, they go through the liver to undergo a conversion process. This process is important in the digestion process since it converts the nutrients absorbed from digestion into usable forms that the body could use. The liver also filters toxins out of blood and produces bile, a substance that helps out with the digestion of fats. The bile is then stored in the gallbladder, which could then enter the small intestine using the common bile duct and become part of the digestion process.